Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing my mid-month wrap-up. If you are new here, I do mid-month wrap-ups every single month where I talk about the books that I've read in the first half of the month. I am doing this a little early. It is currently the 14th of July. I am doing this early just because I want to go ahead and talk about the books that I've read so far this month. I have read a good chunk of books already this month. It's not like a ton of books, but I have read a good amount and I don't see myself reading a ton more. I've read 9 things in July so far, and we're going to start with the least read genre. It's actually going to be manga this time around, so we're just going to talk about the mangas really quickly. I did read 2 manga in July so far. I read Blood on the Tracks Volume 6, which I can't tell you a ton about because this does follow the continuation of the story for Blood on the Tracks. It follows a mother-son duo, and the mother is very obsessed with her son. Very unhealthy relationship. There is a lot of abuse in here. And it's just a continuation of that story and kind of getting an insight on like the wild things that are happening in their relationship and the gaslighting, the manipulation. It's a lot. So if you like thrillers, like psychological thrillers, I do recommend Blood on the Tracks. This only had like 1 body horror scene and it was really good. Then I read Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito, which I do have an entire first impressions on this on my channel if you want to check that out. This is a horror manga by Junji Ito. He is obviously my favorite horror mangaka. I really love him and I love his work. So I was really excited to read this one. This is more of an anthology style. If you want full thoughts on this one, you can check out that first impressions, but I will tell you that I really enjoyed it. So now we're going to talk about the 3 thrillers that I read because I did participate in Summerween. So first of all, I read Survive the Night by Riley Sager, which if you didn't know, Riley Sager is my favorite thriller author. And it didn't work. I hated it. I really did not like this one. I gave this a 2-star. I just overall had a really bad time with this one. I didn't like the twist. I didn't like the way things were set up. I didn't feel like the pacing worked. I didn't feel like the reveals worked. I didn't feel like anything really worked at all with the story. So I just overall have to say this one is a big miss for me. I felt like it was very hard to get into. It was very boring. It was dragged a lot. It did not do what other Riley Sager thrillers have done. If you are a huge fan of Riley Sager and you've read his books before, I don't think that you are gonna like this. If you love his other books, this is not, I don't think this one is better than the last. I know some people say that Riley Sager gets better with each book. I disagree. I do not think that he got better with this book. I strongly believe that this is his worst one that he's released so far. I think this one's going to be like 2 sides of the coin. I really do think people are either going to really like it or they're really going to not like it. I felt like the ending was cheesy. It was weird. I just didn't like it. Then we have Satan's Affair, which is an erotic thriller. Guys, I want to know how I find some of these books. Another 2-star read. I promise I like thrillers. I promise I like thrillers. This one was an erotic thriller about a girl who kills people. She works at a haunted house at a place called Satan's Affair. It's like a carnival. She kills bad people. She thinks that she can smell evil, smell demons. She thinks they have a different smell. Very graphically, and then has orgies next to the dead bodies, and I literally can't tell you anything else without spoiling it of why I didn't like it, because there's no plot. You sit there like, what am I even reading? And then you get to the end of the book and you're like, what did I just read? What was that? I stand by it. It was weird. I'm not, It's a 2-star. I don't know what it was with the thrillers I was reading this week, but they just weren't hitting anything for me. Because I also read Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane, and I really had potential to like this one. So I don't know what it was with all the thrillers that I was reading this month, but they just weren't working at all. So I read Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane. Dallas said he has to be on top of me. And this one had a lot of potential, and this one I think I really would have loved. I think I would have really liked this one if I hadn't gotten super confused in the middle of it. At some point I knew what was happening, and then all of a sudden it was like I was 4 hours into the audiobook and I was like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? Why are we doing X, Y, and Z? Like, what's going on? And then we ended up at the conclusion and I was like, Izzy, I don't know what's happening here. Izzy had to tell me what was going on because I was lost. I was like, I don't know if I zoned out or what happened, but like my focus was so shot that I was just like, I'm gonna need somebody to like give me directions how we got from point A to point Z over here, because I don't know what's going on. So I gave it 3 stars because like the plot twists were really good. The writing was really, really good. The issue was I think I zoned out at some point and had no clue what was going on. That was the problem. So I want to come back to that one at some point in the future. So I also read a bunch of romances this month. So I read Misfit by R. Holmes. I only read like 15% of this because I was basically done with it. This is a dark romance following a girl who was brutally attacked in an alleyway, and a guy named Misfit who takes her in, essentially kidnaps her and forces her to become his like his captive in a way, but he's doing it to keep her safe because there are mob people after her because her brother got into some trouble and they're trying to take it out on her. They do have a romance. They are very attracted to one another, and he basically says that he's her husband, even though he's not, in order for the people to let him back there at the hospital, to let him back to actually go see her. This was really good. The thing I didn't like about this one was I wish it wouldn't have been like so abrupt at the end, but like the smut was really good, the writing was really good, my battery is dying, but yeah, it was a really fun time. Then I read I Married a Lizard Man, which I know what you're thinking. Tamika, I Married a Lizard Man? Yes, I read I Married a Lizard Man. This was a novella. It was a fun time. My buddy read this with a bunch of my friends and we all really, really loved it. It was really sweet and really precious. It's about this third daughter who is like a farmer, and the third daughter doesn't get any land, so she ends up going into this arranged marriage with this lizard man, and they have a relationship. It's very cute. They're entertain each other and like try to like be together. Was really, really cute. I honestly thought this was so sweet and precious, and it hit the sweet tooth of where I wanted it, but I do not want another sweet romance for a while because it was sweet. I also read 7 Sins of Snow. This one is a reverse harem Snow White retelling, which let me tell you, TikTok did not disappoint me on this one. This one was so, so good. I absolutely loved the story. I ate this up in like a day. Like literally had the audiobook. I did not stop listening to it unless I absolutely had to. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. 20 out of 10 recommend this. It did drag a little bit, but the problem that I had is because I am someone who I like smut. Like I love the smut, don't get me wrong. I think 7 is too many. It's the same issue I had with their Vampire Queen series. I thought she had too many partners. This is the same situation. I thought there were too many partners. After the 4th partner, I don't care anymore. So that was kind of the issue, is okay, let's keep going. Like, let's get through the last couple partners here in order to finish up the grand plan and whatever. I really liked the storyline. It worked really, really well. It's vampires. There's a lot of blood in here. It's really good if you want to check it out. And lastly, I did read another reverse harem, which is my most anticipated release of this year, I'm pretty sure, and that is First Comes Blood by Lilith Vincent. I fucking loved this. I will be taking no other comments or concerns at this time. 5 stars, mafia reverse harem with 4 evil men. I love them all. I love them all. I love this story. I loved it so much. Our heroine is 17 when the story starts. Her father is promising her to be engaged to one of these 4 men, and someone kills her mother. It is a very dramatic, very over-the-top kind of story. Very dark. There's tons of things in here, like gunplay, knife play, blood play, all the things. So if you want something really dark, really spicy, really good, go check this out, because in case you didn't know, Lilith Vincent is Brianna Hill's pen name. She does deliver the smut, as you would expect. There's nothing before she turns 18. There's like a tiny little bit of things, like some touching, but like not a lot of stuff. Really recommend this. I love Lilith Vincent already. She might be my new favorite over Brianna, so I'm very excited for it. Alright, so those are all of the books that I've read so far in July. Let me know down in the comments what you've read, and then if you're still here, go ahead and leave me a knife emoji down in the comments, and I will chat with you on the next one. Bye, everyone.